be honest, most people would never get rich, and here is why. Not because they don't want to, not because they don't work hard, but because they are trapped in a cycle, financially, mentally, and emotionally. A cycle designed to keep them poor. What is this cycle? Why do some people work their whole life but never escape financial struggle, while others seem to make millions effortlessly? Today, we are going to break down the five biggest reasons why most people would never be rich and what you can do to make sure you don't end up like them. Number four is the most important. There is something called illusion of trying. Why working hard isn't enough? Why? There is a dangerous lie we have been told. If you work hard, you will be successful. But let's look at reality. Some of the hardest working people in the world are broke. Construction workers, teachers, factory workers. These people put in long hours, yet they struggle financially. That is just the reality. Why? Because hard work alone doesn't create wealth. The world doesn't pay you for effort. It pays you for value, strategy, and leverage. And the people who never understand this truth, they stay broke forever. And here are the five biggest reasons why some people, let me put it that way, would never get rich. One, they trade their time for money instead of building wealth. Most people think the only way to make money is by working a job, but jobs pay you just enough to survive, never enough to get ahead. The rich don't trade their time for money. They build businesses, they invest, they create assets that makes money while they sleep. I'm not saying you shouldn't do 9 to 5 work, but if you want to scale up, you want to create a wealth, you just have to go into something else. Imagine you work 12 hours a day making $20 an hour. That is $240 per day. Now imagine a person owns a business and makes $240 while sleeping. Who has the real advantage? Wealth isn't about working longer, it is about making money for you. Secondly, they spend more than they earn. Here is a big problem. A person making $10,000 a month but spends $9,900 is just working. The rich doesn't just make money, they know how to keep it. They track expenses, they invest wisely, and they avoid lifetime inflation. Example, have you ever seen someone who gets a raise in job and immediately upgrade their car or house? That is how people stay broke. Even when they make more money, rich people, they play a long game. They multiply their money before they even spend it. 3, they avoid learning about money. The average person spends hours watching Netflix but won't spend 30 minutes learning how to make money. Won't spend 30 minutes to learn a skill. They don't understand investing, taxes, or even businesses. The rich treat financial education like life or death because it is. For example, school taught us algebra, but did they teach us how to invest? Did they teach us how to save on taxes? How to build multiple income streams? If you don't learn the rules of money, you will always be a slave to it. And the fourth one, they are afraid to take risks. Oh my God, this is one of the most important one. Risk. Poor people say, what if I lose money? Rich people say, what if I make my money? The fear of failure keeps most people stuck in the same job, same paycheck, same financial struggle year after year, and it continues like that. Another example, most people dream about starting a business, but they never do because they are afraid to lose money. But guess what? Working a job is also a risk. Inflation, layoffs, company closure, they can sack you anytime. It is not guaranteed. You can lose everything overnight. The only way to escape is to take calculated risk and build your own path. And the fifth one, they hang around the wrong people. Your income is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That is how the quote goes. If your friends complain about being broke, but they never take action, guess what? You will stay broke too. The rich surround themselves with winners. People who push them to think bigger, do better, and take actions faster. You don't have to cut off your friends, but you need to upgrade your circle. Read books, join networks, watch content that expands your mindset, that expands your knowledge, even if it requires you to pay. Because if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Here is how rich people think differently. Do you know rich people think differently from poor? The real difference between the rich and the poor isn't just money. It is how they think, their mindsets. The rich people ask, how can I? instead of saying, I can't. The poor say, I can't afford it. The rich say, how can I afford it? One mindset creates limitations, the other creates solutions, the other creates abundance. You understand what I mean? The rich people also focus on assets, not just income. Your salary doesn't make you rich, your investments do. The rich people put their money into things that grow over time: stocks, real estate, businesses. They buy assets. The poor people spend everything they make. Another thing, rich people play the long game. The broke people want quick money. Rich people build for the future. They understand patience, consistency, and delayed gratification. Here is how to escape the cycle of financial struggle. If you don't want to be stuck in the broke cycle forever, if you don't want to keep doing the same job without seeing nothing to show for it, here is what to do. Build an income streams that don't depend on your time. Start a side hustle, invest, build an online business, anything that makes money while you sleep. Because if your income stops when you stop working, you will always be one step away from being broke. Also, master the skill of managing money. This is very, very important. No matter how much you make, if you don't manage it, it will eventually finish. Track your spending, save, invest. Learn how to legally reduce tasks. Wealth is not how much you make. It is about how much you keep. Stop being afraid to take risks. Nothing great comes without risk. Every successful entrepreneur, investors, or business owner took risk. They took smart risks, calculated moves that paid off. Learn the game, take actions. At the end of the day, most people will never be rich, even with all the motivation talks. Not because they can't be, but because they don't take the right actions. The question is, will you? After watching this video, will you re-strategize and think about your life again and take action? Drop a comment. What is the one mistake you have made with money? Have you ever made any wrong investment that you have regretted in your life? Or have you ever thought of taking action about a particular thing but eventually you did not? Let us know in the comment section.